Hi everyone, my name is Erica and this is my first YouTube video ever. So bear with me while I get my footing and let me tell you a little about me. I've been in the beauty industry since 1984. My channel is for all curly girls, but especially those of us who are over 50 because we've noticed the change in our hair, in our skin, in our nails, and everything else along the way. So I've done skincare, hair care, makeup. I've done the whole gamut. What I intend to do is to help curly girls figure out products, how to deal with their hair, how to separate curls, how to keep your hair hydrated and looking healthy, not frizzy, even in the most humid of days. Any questions that you have during the videos, please put them down below so that I can check them out and answer you and hopefully put them in the next video. I wanted to show everyone how I set my hair up and what I do to it to keep my curls looking healthy and not frizzy. I like to use Malibu C, and what I do is that I use some of their items as leave-in because curly hair needs the moisture. So this is Rehydrate, and because curly hair doesn't have much shine, I also use Illuminate that I mix with the Rehydrate. So I do 1 pump of each. This is the Illuminate. This is the Hydrate. So I start slowly and add. Always start with your ends because they are the driest. So I start on my heaviest side and work my way. What little is left on your hands after you do your ends, you can put onto close to the scalp. Conditioners are not meant for the scalp, so keep them off, but you can get close to. So now that I've done my heaviest side, mixing again, and now we're going to do the back. Because the back has a lot of hair, you want to make sure that you use enough in the back. There's twice the amount of hair that there is on either side. So sometimes your back might need a little extra. And in this case, mine does, so I'm adding 1 more of Rehydrate. And then 1 more Rehydrate and Illuminate in the back and around to my light side. And as long as you have a basic idea of your hair, which side is heavier, which needs more, then you're totally ahead of the game. So now I've got at least 6 pumps through my hair that I've just colored. You can hear it. You want to hear squish depending on the humidity outside. It's either that you want your hair to feel like silk, or if it's really humid and you need to make sure that your hair doesn't go looking for moisture anywhere else, you want it to feel like seaweed. You want it to feel mushy because you don't want your hair to be looking for moisture out in the atmosphere. Now we move on to the fun portion, your gel. Some people use a cream, some people use a mousse, some people use a gel. It depends what works best for you. In my case, I like the gel. Personally, I prefer the Diva Curl. They're light defining gel. 2 pumps, which gives you quite a bit. And as with everything, we start on our ends because the ends are the oldest and the driest, and they require the most as well as control. Now, getting gel near the scalp, especially up at the top of your head, try to give the hair enough of a coating of product so that your hair actually will stay up and not flop if you have fine hair. So you hear the squish. We get it into the ends, up into what's close to your scalp. Now, depending on your hair, depends how much gel you use. I tend to use anywhere between 4 to 6 pumps of the light defining gel. So now I go for the back. On my light side, I do sometimes 1 pump of gel. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip. Try to get some of the product towards the scalp, and I'm not coating the scalp. Back we go. My hair tends to fall where it wants to fall. But you see, I have my light side, and I don't want that visible. Now, not everybody's hair lays exactly the way they want it the first time. Some curly girls don't want to separate their curls while it's wet. They think it makes them frizz. Who am I to argue? But if you have enough product in your hair, it shouldn't be an issue. So, see how these curls aren't laying right? It's just weird. If you pick it up, you see where they're connected. So you can separate them. And then once you do that, you will most likely get them to curl the way they're supposed to. Usually. You can always do a little wrap. The little tricks of the trade. That's a little better. But if you go through your hair and separate to make sure that your curls aren't attached to other curls, because that kind of prohibits their actual curl formation. So now I see another one right here. My curls at the top tend to clump together, and because my hair is thinning, because I'm older, that means I have to do a little more separation in order for my hair to get enough volume. See how they're all twisted? So in order to get enough volume at times, I have to do more separation than I used to in my youth. Because as my hair thins, there's less hair, so when the curls attach to other curls, it just pulls them completely out of whack now. And any curly girl who has had her curls change over the years and decades, you know what I'm talking about. The curls change because the hairs are fighting each other to control the curl. So, now what I'm going to do is grab a couple of clips. Clips for a curly girl are your best friends, but the problem is that they're very hard to use when they're the little 2-prong clips for pin curls. I'm a hairdresser. I couldn't use those because every time I went to move, they would flop. And when you're running around trying to get dressed in the morning and you have a kid and a house, you don't have time to sit there and let them dry and not move. So what I started to use were sectioning clips. Much easier, so easy. Depending on which direction your hair is going, that's the direction you want the curve of the clip. So in my case, I go this way. I want the curve to go this way. So what I do is I put it in between where my part is, because I don't want to see a part. And then I lean to the side, pick up the hair a little bit, put another clip in, and now you're ahead of the game because you already have the volume going. One more clip for my back, because I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but this is the beginning of my swirl, because everyone's hair goes in a circular motion. My swirl is in the back, right here, and so I like to make sure that's slightly hidden. So all I do is I come in and I lift, and because I want the arc to go this way, this is how the clip is going in. And I'm hoping I'm doing it okay because I'm really not looking. And now. So what you can do is flip it hard the opposite direction of the direction it's going, if that makes sense, so that you make sure that it's standing up and giving you that lift. And then just fix any hairs that have become out of place. You don't have to do much, because normally with curly hair, you'll get enough volume when it's dry. So, see how some of these are not curling very well. So hopefully I'm going to be able to show you what happens when you cup them and hold them for about 10 or 15 seconds. And then you gently release them. Don't know where that's from. There you go. See how they have more curl in them now? And that was just from using my hand to cup and hold. This way your body heat helps to force that curl in. Personally, I like the way my hair looks better when I use a blow dryer. Now for the blow drying. Before you flip, you want to take out your clips. See how nicely the hair stands up? So, you can piecemeal your blow dry for whichever areas are not curling properly. You want to hit them first before they dry too much. So for me, it's always my front. So, how to blow dry. On high, I like to tilt to the side so I get it off the scalp. And I kind of push my fingers into it and up to force the curl in. And I dry the scalp first, a little bit. And what's on the canopy, which is your outer layer of hair, because they're going to dry faster because they're hit by all of the different elements out in the world. Now, one thing a lot of curly girls do is when they're cupping their hair, they're crunching them and squeezing them in their hands while you're blow drying. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is cradle the curls. And then hit them with the blow dryer. And you can see how you're forcing the curls in. If your hair is on the younger side, then your ends don't tend to get as dry. When we start coloring our hair and then we get older and we start graying, the texture completely changes. The ends always seem to frizz no matter what you do. So what I've been using for 2008 roughly, I started using the Diva. They now call it Beautiful Mess. It's, now they consider it, don't know what they consider it because I don't have my glasses on. But it's a pomade. And what I do, I mix it with the Set It Free, which is a moisture lock. So I take a nice amount and I emulsify it in my hands before I spray it with the Set It Free. Because once you do that, you have a clump of beautiful mess. It's a beautiful mess. So, I do about 5 pumps of the Set It Free and then mix it together so it's a little thinned out. And then I gently go over the canopy. You can see just very gently to not pull anything, but you want to kind of coat the outside. And now there's a little left. You can see it's kind of sticky still. And so what I will do now is I will spray a little bit more of the Set It Free and I will flip. I'm going to step back so you can see what I do when I flip. So I go over and I gently do the underside with what's left of the Beautiful Mess and the Set It Free. And I kind of just wipe the rest of it so that my hands are clean. Because now that your curls are dry, it's not really a big deal to mess with them. On the underside, never the ends though. So now, because we don't want our hair crunchy and we want it fluffed, when I flip, watch what I do. So, I take my fingertips and I gently shake at the scalp and then I pull my hands out. So, your fingers go in, you gently shake, and your hands come out. This way, you're not messing with your curl, but you're getting the hair off the scalp to make it fluffy. Now what you want to do is you want to decrunchify. My word, decrunchify. And all that means is you hold it. That's all you need to do. And what that does is that it breaks whatever cast is on the curls so that they're not hard, because not many curly girls want crunchy curls. We like our curls to move and look touchable, just don't touch them. So now, when you flip back up, you should have a pretty good set of curls going on. Hopefully the back looks good. Hard to see right now. So, curly girl's best friend is a mirror, because you want to be able to see what's happening back there. Because if those frizzes start now, then you know that you're never going to make it through the day. And no, they all look pretty good. Looks like it still needs a little more drying. I need to cut my hair. But as you can see, there's a pretty good shape going on. that's how I do my hair. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye, guys.